Hey, folks, welcome to Market Technical Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Thursday, January 6th, 2011. Well, folks, here we go again. The market a little bit to the downside today on the Dow and the S&P, while the Nasdaq is up just fractionally a couple points. Again, you can see an interesting drop after we surged higher in the mid-morning session on the intraday chart of the SPY 10-minute here. You went up, made a new 52-week high, then reversed down to the downside pretty sharply. Now, the reason for this reversal here, the dollar started to surge to the upside. The dollar was already up today, but it got an extra push today to the upside, and that again took the steam or the wind out of the sails of this market. The market can handle a small gap up in the dollar because volume is light, because the Federal Reserve is using POMO to prop the markets up. But when you get a dramatic intraday move in the dollar to the upside, it does put a little bit of pressure on the markets, and we are seeing that. Now, by no means, and I want to repeat this, the dollar's been up huge the last couple days, and the markets are basically flat to positive. I mean, if you look at yesterday's up move, the dollar was up yesterday, but because of the ADP private sector employment numbers, the market also was able to gain. Now, today, the dollar's up a little bit more, and the market's coming in just a little bit, but you're still not negating yesterday's entire move. By the way, if you do get down to this blue line, that will be a strict major level of support that can be bought in terms of a scalp. All right, it's about gap fill area and also the 200 and the blue trend line right down here. So that's a great level. And again, interestingly enough, you have a little bit of a choppy bear flag pattern formation. See the big drop here and the sideways consolidation, which actually tells us that if everything works out according to a normal market, and what do I mean by that? I mean no Federal Reserve POMO activity this afternoon, no, the light volume doesn't have too much of an impact. If that's the case, then you could have a little bit more downside to that red trend line, which is the 200 moving average, and basically negate the entire move from yesterday. Okay? But again, just to go over the indexes, let's just touch base on those. Dow down 45, Nasdaq, as I mentioned, up 2.5, and the S&P down 5. Oil and gold are basically down again. You can see again if we flip up to the GLD chart. I want to show you the GLD chart. The GLD is just down 50 cents or so, but that had a big move to the downside early in the week. USO is also taking a little bit of a hit today, down 85 cents. That's a much larger move to the downside. So again, we'll be tracking this in the nightly videos in the Research Center. I do encourage you all to join the Research Center. Today I ended up taking profits, and I posted the live alert in the Research Center on GSI at $3.02. An entry was given, I think, about a week and a half ago on this small cap GSI at $2.45. So 245 to 302, 23% profit, and again, that was taken. In addition, just yesterday we talked about MCP over the last few days as going bearish on it and looking for options or a short position. This stock is getting rocked today, folks, rocked to the downside, down $6.75. How did we know this was going to start to fall? You just have to read the charts and use the methodology in the money stocks. In the nightly videos in the Research Center, I talked about using options. In the intraday stock chat, I talked about using options. I talked about the $65 options. If you did those, you're up close to probably about 60 to 75%, if not even a full 100% off of the levels that they were. I mean, it's just been a tremendous move, folks. I think originally when I was talking about these, the $65 put options were trading at about $7.50. Last I checked, anyways, they were $12 to $13. They might even be more at this point. I'm not sure. But, I mean, it's just the insane gains. I mean, you're talking about gains you can't even think up or dream up. You just have to be in the Research Center to get them. All right, the other stocks that have been having great days are regional banks. Even in these free videos, I've been talking about the regional banks. And, again, you can just look at a bunch of them. IBCP, I think, is one of them. Take a look at this one. There's so many of them that have gone parabolic. Look at this is the daily chart on IBCB. And Independent Bank Corp. Look at that move up. And again, it's just one of many that I've discussed. I even have some on the back burner that I'm looking at. Possibly will debut them in the Research Center this afternoon because they look so good. But again, I do like that one very much. So it's already done its course, though. I wouldn't be going near it now, but it's just one of the many of the regional small cap banks that I've talked about in previous videos that have had a big move. All right, what else are we looking at here today? Let's go back to the SPY, talk some levels. That's the daily chart. We're not going to focus on that. It's more for the nightly Research Center members. But again, as you can see here, the market started out flat, choppy, started to get a surge up. That's usually a little bit of buying, people thinking the light volume will have an upside. Then the dollar surges and the market tanks here. Three-bar surge. Three-bar surge usually end and you get a bounce after a three-bar surge. For those of you that are members of the Research Center or chat room, you know that. Also, take a look. See this little area where you surged up and then paused and then surged up again? Take the line from the high pivots right here across and just draw it in. All right, see that? Here's a pivot high, pulled back, pause, hit it, paused, broke out. That happens to be the low pivot of the day. This area of choppiness exactly right here. These pivot tops look it right in there. So again, it's always a reason why a market stalls out. Plus you get a 3-bar surge to the downside, a very good likelihood that the market will bounce. And again, you can see that bounce bouncing up. Then it's just been choppy sideways action. Now, as I mentioned, there is a bear flag here, which in normal market conditions would play out to the downside. However, this is not normal markets. We know POMO is there. Federal Reserve propping is there. We know new money is still probably coming into the market a little bit at this point in time. Less and less, almost done at this point. But the light volume is also a key. Only 67 million traded on the SPY because everyone's waiting for the jobs number tomorrow. The unemployment report, non-farm payrolls. We're going to be doing a live, no hype live broadcast for that. If you're a Research Center member, you will have access. Live charts, live analysis as it comes out, and live trade ideas. So again, if you're a member of the Research Center for $49.99 a month, you get everything listed on the Research Center. It's a no-brainer, folks. Absolutely a no-brainer. All right, so again, that's what we're looking. But as I said, the markets are not normal, so therefore I'm not really banking on the fact that this could end up being a great play to the downside and the bear flag playing out. All right, so we'll continue to watch that and see what's going on. Freeport McMoran getting hit today nicely, down another $2.40. Make that $2.68 drop. This stock again was on the bearish Pro Trader watch list. Beautiful gains there. Pro Trader watch list has been knocking it out of the park, folks. I mean, not only that, but that's inclusive in the Research Center, but also hot charts and alerts, nightly videos, ideas. Intraday stock chat today alone, we called out DSTI. DSTI, I gave this in the chat room this morning. We'll go to the intraday chart here. Right around this 158 area, 156 area. Look at the move on that thing. All the way to 188. I mean, a major, major move there. You got to love it when stocks like that go parabolic and you make so much money and put it in your pocket. So really what I'm saying here to you folks, if you have an hour a day, you want to be in the intraday stock chat just for that hour because you'll probably get some profits out of it and a great learning experience. If you're not able to be in the intraday stock chat, you want to be in the Research Center because, again, the plays that we've been doing have just been going insane. Profits galore. All right, I'm going to leave on that positive note, folks. Just remember, the markets, again, will be light this afternoon on the back of everyone waiting for the jobs report. And, again, if you want to make the New Year's resolution, if you want to have a profitable year, make sure you're a member at inthemoneystocks.com. Take care.